2025, the Red Roses won another Grand Slam. Toulouse retained the top 14 in a dramatic extra time finale, and Mathieu Jalibert did this. But in amongst all the Roses and Ramoses, this was a year in which some rugby was played by some people. And in order to celebrate the best of that rugby, it is time for this: the Squid Rugby Team of the Year 2025. Now, most of the team has already been filled out over the last week, meaning it's time to dig into the first trio that's still outstanding. It's the try scorers, the wing racers, the high ball snatchers. It's the best back three of 2025. Louis Bielle-Biarrey has played 28 games in the calendar year 2025. They are as follows: Stade Francais, 2 tries. Exeter Chiefs, 2 tries. Wales, 2 tries. England, 2 tries. Italy, try. Ireland, 2 tries. Scotland, try. Toulouse, try. Racing 92, try. Munster, try. Pau, try. La Rochelle. Toulouse, 2 tries. Castres, try. Northampton Saints won Bordeaux's first Champions Cup title in their history. Vannes, 2 tries. Toulouse narrowly lost the top 14 final in extra time. La Rochelle, try. Racing 92, try. Montauban, 2 tries. Stade Francais. Lyon, 2 tries. Perpignan. Bayonne, try. South Africa. Fiji, 2 assists. Australia, 2 tries. Bulls, 2 tries. Scarlets, try. Toulon, try. 30 games, 36 tries. 1 Six Nations, 1 Champions Cup. Just 5 games without scoring a try all year long. Louis Bielle-Biarrey is in our Team of the Year. When did it happen? Can we pinpoint the moment? It felt like somewhere between about February and July. We all just looked away for a moment. Just a second. Just a brief moment. And when we turned back around, that skinny lad who looked a bit like a baby monkey with a wallaby dad none of us remembers, played on the wing for Australia a little bit, was world class now. Very few players have had a year more instantly emotive than Max Jorgensen. Just 7 games of Super Rugby, cut short by injury. And whilst he was very, very good, somewhere in his harried recovery, in order to get ready for the Lions tour, available for Australia's first game of the year and thrown in, having not played in months, with other wallabies struggling for fitness out wide, the man soon christened Miracle Max upskilled in every single area and became practically the perfect 2025 winger. A long gangly boy who is brilliant under the high ball, doesn't always mesh well with the kind of free-flowing bullshit nonsense. How did he get through that gap? How did he do that thing that Jorgo can produce? Yet the Lions series felt at times like less of a celebration of Britain and Ireland's best and more like Max Jorgensen's chance to take as many names as possible. He was the Wallabies' best player in their first test, scoring a ridiculous try to keep them in it, then only better still in the 2 to come, sealing the series closer with another score, only to then go up gears as the year went on. His performance in Joburg was maybe the best of any winger this year. Flawless in the air, brilliant with the ball, and excellent on defense, creating and scoring some absolutely stunning tries as he made the Springboks right, let's stop for a moment, right? This kid became a danger, and the Springboks, the bloody Springboks, in the year they went full on like classic All Blacks Imperial mode, they seemed unbeatable, unstoppable. They couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't do anything to stop this young kid. It was a performance that if he retired on the spot would always be remembered and talked up as one of the greats, and yet he continued. Marked up better as the year went on, but still able to create and find space. Speedrunning, that thing the best wingers do, where they recognise defences are watching for them and start creating space for others over the autumn as he started to slide into a playmaker spot in Schmidt's system. Something normally only the best wingers do, and normally 4 or 5 years into their career rather than 1. Max Jorgensen is a lethal finisher, a lightning quick sprinter, both showcased in his bullshit try against France, but also just an incredibly smart rugby player. And at just 21 Ys of A, someone I'm incredibly excited to see continue to tear it up on an international pitch for years to come. There's a bit of a theme on this list, because 2025 really has been the year of the youngster with a little bit of bullshit in their pocket. Sometimes it happened. The Blues chucked promising 18-year-old fullback Braxton Sorenson-McGee in for her debut this year and instantly saw a player catch fire. 6 tries in 8 games was undeniable. A Black Ferns call-up came, and 3 tries in her first 2 tests did the rest of the talking. Sorenson-McGee was an instant sensation, one of the most balanced natural rugby players I've ever seen, or certainly for some time. She's got an outrageous ability to remain on her feet through tackles, taps, round and down the touchline. She's an incredible talent and fantastic athlete, so secure in technical aspects of her game, yet brilliant on the assault. Being lightning fast and always in the right place at the right time doesn't exactly hurt either. Sorensen-McGee's year only got better once she arrived in York for the 2025 Rugby World Cup. Her first, still a teenager. And at it, she notched up an utterly ridiculous 11 tries and 3 assists in just 6 games. And so many of those finishes requiring a ridiculous amount of talent and ability. Look at this! Look at this one, for heaven's sake. Or this. Even this is pretty great. Braxton Sorenson-McGee might have the most name of any player in history, but she's also right up there in terms of talent. Ellie Kildunne had a great year and won a World Cup, but the back three player we were talking about at that tournament wasn't from the winning team, wasn't even from the finalist. It was the teenager who pulled magic after moment all tournament long. In true beep style, scoring in all but 2 of her 9 tests this year, and in all but 2 of her 8 Super Rugby appearances. An absurd record, an absurd talent, and one we'll be watching like the rest of this back three for a very long time to come. And that was perhaps what separated the back three, because it was so tight in it. There's so many honorable mentions. Let's get into them. It became incredibly tricky to cram everyone we wanted to in. Ellie Kildunne easily could have gone in there after a brilliant year for the Red Roses. Probably would have started an all-female 15. Blair Kinghorn was excellent, and Hugo Keenan locked down the Lions extremely hard, as well as Leinster and Ireland. David Nindiashvili remains stunningly excellent and brilliant. Will Jordan is always fantastic. James Lowe had a brilliant Six Nations. Abby Dow bowed out at the top, and Jess Breach was just as good on the other wing for England. Rodrigo Isgro was excellent, and both Carreras, Mateo and Santiago, all great for the Pumas. Renee Holmes shone for the Ferns, coming back into form at the World Cup. Sora Nishimura of Japan was endless fun, as were her male counterparts, the full unit of Ishida, Osada and Yazaki. Great players. Spain's Matiano Cian remains one of rugby's great cult heroes, as does Zimbabwe's Edward Sigarke. So excited by this guy. And Portugal's Raffaele Storti, who was again tearing it up in the French leagues. Mac Hansen played some lovely stuff. Tom Roebuck, brilliant in England shirt, as were Tommy Freeman, who's Six Nations full house, scoring in every game alone, gets a shout. And when fit, Emmanuel Faye-Boso is so good. Julia Schell was a standout for Canada. There's plenty of those. Asia Hogan Rochester became an icon over the course of the World Cup for some exceptional play, brilliant finishing, and just a general presence that added so much. And Alicia Corrigan, also brilliant, greatly underrated on the other wing. South Africa contributed so many contenders. Kurtley Aronsa, Ayanda Malinga, Baihandre Dolph, all earned mentions. And Capawutso is bullshit great. Juan Gonzalez might just have been Uruguay's best player over the year. Fran McGee's first few weeks of the World Cup were world beating. Tom Wright was world beating before his injury as well. Frances Morgan-Bourgeois established herself as maybe the best goal kicker in women's rugby this year. So solid for Les Bleus. Anna McGann, Six Nations form was stunning. Nell Metcalf was probably the only Welsh player to leave the World Cup with stock increase. She was so good. That twat Penno was also good as well, I guess. Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe remained an absolute try machine. Bianca Silva of Brazil, always dangerous. Nicolas Saab of Chile, superb every time he got a chance. Spain's Claudia Pena was fantastic as ever. Alicia Letienga was dangerous as always. Joanna Grise, lethal for France. Teo Atasogbe faded after some injuries and so on, but started the year so bright right through to, more than halfway point. Monty Ioane finished extremely bright on the other end, and finishing is just what Darcy Graham does year after year, time after time, whilst Dylan Peach also played some great rugby, and Caleb Clark, fair play, is finally looking at the player people were proclaiming him early in his career. However, there are 3 names, a whole of a back 3, we genuinely can't justify having left out. They all deserved their place. Damien Willemse deserves to be in here, and an all-male team he definitely would have been, having played the best rugby of his career this year. Him and Sorensen-McGee was hair-trigger stuff. George's Akatabat-Sadze has a record frankly comparable to LBB and BSM, and we very almost put him in the team. It was proper touch and go for a long time, but the harshest exclusion was Fiji's Duita Wanangolo, someone who very much lost their shirt to Bielle-Biarrey because they're both such number 11s, but also 11 out of 10. The most bullshit player in the world this year was the Fijian, and he's someone I could just watch on an eternal loop, able to do things that nobody else in the world ever would dream possible. Thanks for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. We have just one more to go. The back row.
Yes. Sinbad has been lobbying for Lewis Ludlow's inclusion all year round. Yeah. And he is the 3rd member of the Squidge Rugby team. So, please in the comments if you're backing up Sinbad and his many other suggestions.
Zoe Allcroft.
Yeah,
all over.
Yeah, Alex Matthews,
Kay Williams. Yeah. So that is coming tomorrow. The videos on the others are up alongside. Please go and have a look there. They're on this website, which is youtube.com, or this app.
depending on how you are watching.
Indeed. So we've got the back row, that's the final one. Then a few days a little bit off.
Some point in January, we will have a big deep dive into one area of the game from one England international.
Yes, and it is a game... Oh, you know what? I'll give you a visual clue.
What did you just do to Sinbad?
Sinbad, I'm so sorry.
Sinbad can demonstrate.
Nudge Sinbad.
Today was a big push out of my comfort zone, and even just the environment was different, but really pleased to get that out, and I hope they enjoy it.
It's exactly coronation chicken, but the textures are really distinct and individual within it.
The filling is beautiful and creamy, and then we've got the semolina shell. I didn't think it would be that crispy.